National Player of the Year. Penn State at home in the white uniforms, UCLA on the road in the blue, and it is Penn State with possession to open the day.
Pace will be important. This is a UCLA team who's given up 80 or more points 5 times, Noah. Last year only did that 4 times. So they're trying to focus on controlling that ball, staying in front without fouling.
Penn State opened 0-5 to Big Ten play. 4 of those losses against top 20 teams, all of them by single digits as they give it away on the first possession of the game.
We know Mick Cronin wants his guys to defend after coming off of a game where you hold Maryland to 55 points. And in perfect Mick Cronin fashion, didn't think that they played well offensively well enough. So he wants guys to be aggressive. Good ball movement leads to a Perry straightaway 3 that's off the mark, and Josh Reed with the rebound for Penn State. Good free feed from Dillion inside. Ivan Juric flushes it. Yeah, Ivan Juric is one of those guys who, look, I know on paper you think inexperienced, but he plays with this maturity. You know, pick and rolls, he can knock down some shots from deep, but his spatial awareness isn't like most of the young bigs in college basketball. I know he's a little older, but he's a special player for Penn State, developing well. Mike Rhodes was raving earlier today about his basketball IQ, says he's so smart. This is Perry, 5 to shoot. Booker steps out, takes a corner 3 that swirls out, offensive rebound. Daly can't get it to go, but he earns a trip to the line. Couple things you got to focus on if you're UCLA. You talked about it, you can't get into foul trouble just because they're just not deep enough, but you know, they have to probably get Donovan Dent going. I think once he gets going a little bit, and most of it, what I see, you know, in the 8 or 10 games I've watched of UCLA, it's between his ears. You know, you start to talk yourself out of some things when you miss some easy shots. He should not be shooting poorly from the foul line. This is a guy who was a terrific shooter last year from the foul line. Sometimes you change area codes, you change conferences, it affects some more than others. Former Mountain West Player of the Year at New Mexico. Do you think a lot of that's just trying to get used to the Big Ten? I mean, the Mountain West, that's a great job by UCLA showing that press, and Penn State has to, you got to play with some urgency. You know, it really is a Penn State team that is trying to figure out their identity with Mingo obviously injured, trying to figure out who they are. A young team, very young team for Mike Rhodes, but to answer your question, the Mountain West is not the Big Ten. And look, I know guys can play. If you can play, they say you can play anywhere. It's a different animal, this conference. It's not one you can just come from a smaller conference and think you're going to dominate or even have some success. And you know, unfortunately, I think Donovan Dent's feeling some of that. He's getting hit harder. The focus is on him maybe a little differently than it was last year. But I think he has the skill level to figure it out here. Mick Cronin's behind him. Great playmaker, too. He's third in the Big Ten in assists per game, but they want a little bit more aggression from him offensively. 2 to shoot. Bilodeau's got to get it up. He does just before the horn, and he sinks it. Yeah, I don't think he did. They're going to take a look at it. Previous players. Yeah, I do not think he did. Watching it live, that ball is still in his hand. Yeah. Should be a quick one. But neither team right now playing with any kind of sense of urgency. You know, I think the one thing, if you're struggling
at the further review, no basket, shot clock violation.
You're struggling like Penn State has to try to, you know, find some continuity. I think the best way to do that is to do it fast. Yeah. You know, look, you're going to have turnovers. You're going to feel it's out of control, and with a young team that happens, but you have to force the issue. And if you're UCLA, it's a road game. It is a game that is a scary game because, look, this is a Penn State team. They're one of 3 teams still looking for their first win in conference play, Noah. You don't want to come in here and sleepwalk through, and next thing you know, you got a game late like Michigan did. Yeah. Don't want that. It's a Penn State team that's usually really good in this building, too. Yeah. Shot clock's down to 5 again. Stewart gets into the paint, fades away from 15 and connects. I love Stewart's game. Great balance on his jump shot. he's got to make more.
Yeah.
He's got to do a better job of when he gets those open shots and knock those down. I always say you got to make 50% of those open ones if you're a shooter.
Along to that point, the last 3 games, he's just 2 of 18 from the field, so that's got to feel good.
That's a lot.
Bilodeau got a hand on it.
Yeah, you don't need to make 50%. You need to make, when you're open, you have to make at least half of those that you get wide open.
Daly on a catch and shoot is short. Penn State limits it to a 1 and done.
A lot of jump shots right now from both teams. It's a little too much. Again, you can't establish much. You can't really establish yourself. I think Donovan Dent's one of the best players at getting 2 feet in the paint in the entire country. And you also don't allow yourself to dictate to the referees what kind of game you're going to play when you shoot a bunch of jump shots. You know, if they know you're getting downhill and you're going to be aggressive, they're going to start to call it that way. But this is an easy game to officiate and an easy game to defend in if teams are shooting jump shots.
Stewart accelerates, good feet inside. Urich on the inside goes off the window.
Again, finds Urich. It's worked already once, so why not go back to it? You know, UCLA is a thin team inside.
Passes over the top of the head of Jamar Brown. It's a turnover for UCLA.
Yeah, unforced turnovers. No bueno on the road. Yeah, that's just a really nice job. Stewart finding the big fella down low. Got to stop the ball first. I know so many times bigs are blamed for leaving a big open downstairs, but the ball pressure is the most important thing. Got to get hands up. You got to stay in front of guys and try to make them deviate from the path before they can make that easy pass inside.
Stewart thought about the 3. He isolates against Booker. Kick out. Tunja's 3 is off the mark. Scramble for the rebounds. And it was last touched by Penn State. A little bit of a slow offensive start here at Penn State. The Nittany Lions up 4 early.
Trying to figure it out in game and practice.
3rd straight game that Clark is out with that hamstring injury. 2nd leading scorer for UCLA. Shoots the 3 ball at nearly 50% to your point.
Lights out. By the way, they're not a really deep team even when he's healthy. You know, the problem with trying to find a deep bench is it's too expensive.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, no guys are going to a school to be the 7th man. They're not leaving and taking NIL money to be the 7th or 8th guy on a team. They want to start.
Perry splits, attacks downhill, and draws a whistle with the shot clock down to 3.
I probably should have made it, but great job getting downhill, forcing the issue. Now you create an opportunity for yourself at the foul line.
Perry himself talked about how last year in year number 1, it was a lot of figuring it out and adjusting to the college game and the Big Ten level. And he said this year, like, there's a lot more confidence in himself, and you're seeing that play out game by game right now.
Yeah, and to me, the place that confidence starts for a guy who can, you know, knock down shots and can do so many different things is at the foul line. It's a UCLA team that missed 9 free throws against Maryland. So, you know, we talked to Mick Cronin about what he liked about that game. It was, look, we were 18 to 27. You can't have that. I liked our defense. You hold Maryland to 55 points, but this is so important. Rebounding, taking care of the ball, and making free throws is how you win games on the road.
Sounds so simple.
That's all it is. At least that's what I have in my notes.
Oh, okay. Then it's right.
It's right. It is. It's that easy. I love the pointing and talking by UCLA right now, though. Love the communication.
Freshman Mason Blackwood had just checked in at that last whistle. Shot clock down to 5. Tunja isolates, step back, hand in his face on a deep 2, spits out.
UCLA's really good at putting people in a bad way. Those are bad shots when you get under 5 seconds because they're desperation shots. Got to be ready to rebound those and go.
Almost every possession has looked that way for Penn State.
Yeah. Man, UCLA is, theirs hasn't been much prettier, but it's a nice thing for them to see that ball go through the basket.
Hey, it's pretty when it goes in, all right?
It really is.
It's Freeney with the 3, puts UCLA in front by a point.
Again, they're extending this out. Penn State's got to do a better job of going north to south. A lot of east to west. That ball's going sideline to sideline. There you go. Get that ball in the paint. Collapse the defense a little bit.
Tunja, cut off, extra pass. Juric, straight away, three, short.
Another forced shot. Again, UCLA puts guys in tough spots. They extend out. And once you're shooting that under 3 or 4 seconds, it's hard to not rush those.
Freeney wants to work it inside to Bilodeau. He does. Here comes the double team. And a whistle goes against Penn State. Mike Rhodes is all over the officials saying it should have been a hook, but it won't be.
A little bit of a cheap one there. I think Juric might have been a little off balance. But, you know, that's a really nice job. Change the look up. Take a look, number 3 right there. There's the hook right there. That's what Mike Rhodes wanted. I think if there wasn't a hook on Bilodeau, there may not have been a foul called on Juric.
I didn't see anything there on Juric.
No, the first thing you saw was the Bilodeau hook, or beginning to hook.
Tried to lob it up to him. Instead, it's a turnover. Here comes Rice the other way, poked away from behind by Brown.
It's a tough break when your teammates running straight down the middle, and you know that the spacing's kind of off. It's hard to figure out what you're going to do. Just took a little bit too long there, Rice, making a decision.
Third straight game without Caden Mingo for Penn State, the star freshman who's been off to a spectacular start to begin his career. Rice turns the corner, gets downhill, it's short, and Bilodeau snags the rebounds. Chance for UCLA to run. Perry steps through the defense, floats it up, and he's got 2 free throws coming.
And you can kind of hear the crowd upset. They wanted a foul at the other end. Every foul is not created equally, Noah. You know, this was, problem is you run into a big right there who's backpedaling, and Perry's a smart player. He understands how to get fouled. See a big, you got to go right at him, earn another trip to the foul line.
Second trip for Perry already, who's coming off 16 against Maryland, 1 shy of his career high. Started the last couple in absence of Sky Clark, who's been out of the lineup with that hamstring injury.
Hey, you mentioned Mingo out 3. This is, I think, Sky Clark's third game, also out. And in those 2 games, guys have stepped up. You mentioned that Perry's one of those guys. 15.5 points in his last 2 games. Scored in double figures, 4 of his last 5? I mean, that's the response you want if you're Mick Cronin, for guys stepping in and getting some more minutes.
Blackwood got the defender up, steps through, and floats it in to end a more than 3-minute scoring drought.
And I would call that officially a paint point, you know, and even if it's from there, it's so important. You collapse the D, on balance.
Bilodeau on a catch-and-shoot 3 spins out. And you said it earlier, 2 feet in the paint, usually good things happen from that.
Really, because now everything collapses. It's a lower or a higher percentage shot. It's tougher to rotate when you kick that ball out.
Bilodeau got the rebound, but he stepped out of bounds, so it stays on this end with the Nittany Lions. A lot of teaching moments for Mike Rhodes, who has 8 freshmen on his roster. The 10th most inexperienced team in college basketball, but he said nobody feels bad for us. We just have to get better, and we got to do it quickly.
And number 5 in white, though, he's got to get it going quickly. 0 for 1. Had 1 really nice assist earlier, but since then hasn't really done much.
Career high 25 against Purdue over the weekend, and Mike Rhodes told him this week, he said, hey, until Caden Mingo comes back, you're going to be at the top of everybody's scouting report, and you got to be okay with that.
I think he has the ability to take over games. That ball handling, he can get downhill.
Good spit out, open look from the corner, and it's just a little bit long for Mason Blackwood.
That's what I like about Perry, is he can play that position as well. You know, point guard, he can play the shooting guard.
Look at this ball movement.
It's hard to defend when that ball's moving.
Brandon Williams, who missed last game, is off the mark on his first shot. Perry, the offensive rebound. He's doing everything early tonight, Donnie.
And you know, I know a lot of people don't know this, but following him when he was younger, he was a true point guard in high school. And as a prep, he was more of a jump shooter. But and you can kind of see that in the last few games with Perry without Sky Clark, as he's playing that combination guard position.
Rice, that's a tough shot. Oh, knocks it down over Williams.
Four assists on 5 made field goals for Penn State. That means something. It's something you can talk about in your next break. Keep swinging the ball, keep moving it, play together. UCLA, on the other hand, 1 assist. They only have 2 field goals, but still, that ball's got to move a little bit more.
Most of the damage coming from the free throw line for the Bruins. Perry spots up for 3, in and out. Offensive rebound, Williams puts it back in.
Great job by Williams. Just move, continue to, he's got a body too. He can force guys out, bully them a little bit.
Rice on a catch and shoot. 5 quick points for Eli Rice.
Eli Rice has a quick release. And then, you know, 6 Big Ten games. Teams understand who he is and where he is on that scouting report.
Jamar Brown does not have the answer. Blackwood chases down the board. Penn State with a chance to take the lead in transition. Dillion rips through the defense and a whistle against the Bruins. Back and forth, we got a battle here in Happy Valley. Tied at 13 apiece between you.
Guysing that man-to-man. Oh, love the out-of-bounds under. Mike Rhodes is one of the best in the country at drawing those up. And that's just not a... You can't stay on the floor for Mick Cronin if you're giving up plays like that out of a timeout, especially Noah.
7 quick points tonight for Eli Rice, who Mike Rhodes said they are really happy with what he's given in the last couple of weeks. That's tapped out of bounds by Dillion and stays with UCLA.
And these are those times where you need to really, don't be afraid to switch, talk to one another. Good deflection there. Ball's going to be out on the side now. Perry's going to the baseline. Should be a tougher throw-in from that if you set up right defensively, but...
Perry, good feed to a cutting Bilodeau. It swirls out. Scramble for the rebound. Juric wins it. Here comes Dillion. He's got a 2-on-2. Hesitates, gets to the other side, and it's blocked by Bilodeau. He's been really good early.
Oh, they missed him down low. You got to give him the ball, get him going.
They do, and he scores. What a sequence.
Yeah, he's a guy, again, when you see a big, really any teammate works his tail off to get a block shot, you make sure if he's the first one down the floor like Tyler Bilodeau was, you have to give him the ball.
Mick Cronin was not happy that he had 0 rebounds against Maryland on Saturday, and you're seeing a lot of hustle plays in this early going for Bilodeau. Stewart for 3, short. Rebound Booker. Again, Bilodeau running the floor, blocked from behind, but a whistle against Stewart, and that sends Tyler Bilodeau to the line.
Well, we talked about his last game against Maryland. He took 9 free throws, but that's kind of not been his thing. And I think when he runs the floor rim to rim, you have to find him. He's going to finish. If not, he's going to get to the foul line. I love that he's out running guys.
The 9 free throws that he took in that game on Saturday, and this comes straight from you. I'm giving you all the credit. I did not find that. You did. The last time he took that many free throws in a game, January of 24, that's 2 years ago.
And he was wearing a different uniform then as well. Now, and again, everyone can't, I think the volume that he shoots and he touches the ball, I was shocked that he had not taken 9 free throws in between there. That's about 58, 59 games. But he's doing a nice job of really forcing the issue on both ends of the floor. I know he was under the weather against Maryland. And Probably the reason he was a little slow-footed, got into some foul trouble early. It looks much better tonight early.
This is Josh Reed, the only senior on this team for Penn State. He spins into a double team, and he took an extra step.
I think that the next step for Bilodeau is knocking down a long one. He's 0 for his last 9 from 3, and you and I talked about this as well. He had 36 points his last 3 games after scoring 34 versus UC Riverside. So he's hit a little bit of a look. Sky Clark, when one guy is out, that's a huge part of what you do offensively, especially for players. Everyone's affected, you know, and he may have feeling the residual effects of Sky Clark not being in the game.
This is a 15-footer there.
Yeah, got to make that one too. You're not going to get a lot of those easy looks.
Reed has the size advantage, kicks it out. Ball was deflected, and a foul here against UCLA. It's on Jamar Brown.
Yeah, that's the right call. I don't know, unless there was an advantage. Now we're talking Premier League soccer. If there was an advantage and Penn State got the ball back, maybe you let that play. But that was a good call.
I love the former soccer player in you coming out.
It just never leaves. It's in there. It's the DNA.
Ball tapped away by Stephen Jamerson, who Mick Cronin was really happy with on Saturday. Called his best game he's played as a Bruin.
Yeah, he got more minutes too, though. I mean, you know, you're averaging, I don't know, 6 minutes a game, and you get 23. Good things happen.
Stewart steps into a mid-range jumper.
I think Stewart's going to be a terrific player. You know, when it's all said and done, I just think that jump shot is so beautiful. The rotation, his balance on it. Shot selection is probably going to be the biggest challenge for him, and it usually is for young players who can shoot.
Daly took an extra step with it. Penn State ball on the other side. It's the Nittany Lions, and the Bruins tied at 17.
With schizophrenia, it can feel like your symptoms.
You kidding me?
All right.
I feel great. Now, if you asked me that when the season started, it wouldn't have been the same response. But that's. I love my team when they're 500, below 500, and obviously where they're at now. So, actually, for people at home, I begged our producer and Noah to read that promo, but they wouldn't allow me. Just because it was Seahawks, but that's okay. That's fine.
We didn't want your bias to show through.
I went to a state school. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, my Ball State education, big time. Tied at 17, 7.5 to go in the first half. A physical defensive battle early in Happy Valley.
See, the passing is terrific, but at some point, now they come out of that a little bit. They're switching. You got to use the dribble if you're Penn State. Now, low clock.
Turnover.
Means turnovers or low percentage shots, but got a new one.
Tunja gets it right back.
Someone's got to penetrate here.
Good hesitation from Stewart. Falls away, and he got hit going up.
Yeah.
Free throws coming for Dominic Stewart.
I get it. You're taught, Noah, to pass through a zone, but when you know they're switching everything, you have to attract some attention. So you dribble at a guy, you try to go by him at the elbow. Now the next guy comes and helps. The one you went by is still there. Someone's going to be open. You don't get open shots like that in a switching zone, switching man-to-man when you're just passing. So someone's going to have to be able to put that ball on the floor. The problem is, I don't know if Tunja or Stewart are really that comfortable handling the ball unless they're going to score, unless they're trying to get downhill. So, you know, the lineup right now for Mike Rhodes is probably more focused on making some deep balls and taking care of the ball.
Donovan Dent is back in the game now for UCLA after he spent some extended time on the bench. Point guard for the Bruins.
Well, expect him to now force the issue a little bit, try to get downhill, get in the teeth of that defense.
Off the ball here.
Tunja, another one of those guys, you know, when you come from overseas and you come into a conference that is so big and physical like the Big Ten, there's an adjustment period, and I think he's still trying to figure that out. He's young, you know.
Arrived pretty late, too, because he was playing professionally overseas, so he didn't arrive on campus until August, right before classes started. Booker's got a one-on-one, lost the handle on it when the double team came over. In transition, Reed into the paint, floats it up and in.
I like Reed. He's one of those, I call him off-schedule players, where you don't really run much for him. He can get out in transition, as you saw there, and finishes off the wrong foot.
The rare guy with experience on this Penn State roster. Senior with more than 100 games played. Donovan Dent absorbs contact. Ball is thrown in, and it's off of Brown. It heads back to Penn State.
Right now, Penn State's playing with more a sense of urgency than UCLA is. They're much more intentional defensively, running, jumping guys, trapping, hustling for the ball. On the other end, they're trying to find guys, trying to get to that rim.
A quick 4-0 spurt out of the timeout for Penn State, who scored on each of its last 2 possessions.
UCLA right now shooting 29%. That's a huge win for Penn State and what they're running defensively, and they're jumping guys and communicating.
A couple games in a row, UCLA's offense has not looked very good. Stewart, 2 on the timer, over the top of Brown, well short. Another great defensive possession for UCLA. Almost gave it away again.
Brown getting on the floor, something to try to generate some energy for the Bruins.
Rebound tapped around, Jamerson. That's what Mick Cronin loved on Saturday against Maryland, and he's on the glass again.
Just be active. I'm telling you, I've known Mick Cronin a long time. If you're a big and you just rebound, you are not coming off the floor. He doesn't care if you score. If you can score, it's a bonus. It's a win. It's like an Easter egg. You found something you didn't know was going to be there.
Stewart steps on the baseline, gives it back to UCLA. He said that almost word for word this morning when we were talking to him during shoot-around. He said, I don't care if you score a single point, but I need maximum effort on the glass and rim protecting on defense.
Yeah, because if you control the glass, you know good things happen. That's how you give yourself a chance to win. But not only that, much like turnovers are very contagious, Noah, when your teammates see you just killing yourself to go to the glass, they're going to help you. They're going to do the same. So that's contagious as well. You swing the ball, you move the ball on offense, you crash the glass, your teammates are going to help you.
Perry curls his way into the lane, and a reach-in foul called against Penn State.
Got lucky. He couldn't hear the play. Donovan Dent told him, get to the other side. You have to know when the play is for you, you have to know the play.
Well, Penn State, who is already without Caden Mingo and Tibor Mirtic, has Freddie Dilion on the ground right now, and he's been really, really good in the last 2 games in the absence of Mingo. Mike Rhodes out there to take a look at Dilion, who immediately went down holding his ankle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right there.
The right one.
Yep.
And the crazy thing about college basketball and shoe fashion is you won't find a player, and if you do, tweet it to Noah, that wears anything higher than a low top.
Yeah.
I mean, you look out here, there are no more even 3/4 tops. And listen, I'm a shoe person, trust me, myself. So there's no support. You got to wear the ankle brace on the left like that, but everything is low. Everything's low top.
I was a high top with ankle braces in my play.
Just a bad vision I have right now in my mind. Just trying to picture that, Noah. Yeah, even when I was in college back in the 1900s, Noah, I wore low tops.
It was that recent, huh?
Yeah. You just felt faster. You felt more nimble. You know, you could get up and down. You could cut laterally. Those higher shoes are just too restrictive, and now you can't find them anywhere.
Dilion being worked on by the athletic training staff as he goes out. Trent Perry to the line. Free throw attempts 5 and 6 for him in this first half. He's done a great job being aggressive offensively.
And one of the rare, or few things I should say, that's going well for UCLA in this game. They're shooting 100% from the foul line. They are winning the rebound battle, but 8 turnovers early in this game. It's never going to get it done on the road.
Winning the rebounding battle is important too. They were minus 19 on the glass against Maryland Saturday. Stewart steps back, way too strong on the 3. A game that was never really in doubt against Maryland. They won that pretty convincingly, but still, Mick Cronin was not happy with minus 19 rebounds.
Yeah, and they gave up 20 offensive rebounds. That hurts just as much. You can't give anyone extra chances. Now, Maryland struggled. They only shot 30%, but it's a testament to UCLA's defense.
One more to Williams, steps into a 3, it's short. UCLA with great hustle, you just said it. 2 bodies on the floor, both in blue jerseys.
Too many guys in white uniforms standing, bending over, trying to pick that ball up. I would say it's a prerequisite if you play for Mick Cronin and Mike Rhodes, but Mick Cronin will let you know more often. You got to get on the floor. You got to get dirty. You got to dive for loose balls. You have to at least show that you care and you want it more than anybody out there on the court. I got a little blood on Trent Perry's elbow.
Screen, pick and pop. Bilodeau rises for 3 and connects.
Whew. It's been a long time since he's felt that, Noah.
Had missed 9 straight threes leading up to that one, but a 7-0 run has given UCLA a 3-point lead.
The passing's great, but if you put that ball on the floor and try to get to that logo, it's going to break down.
Shot clock at 5. This is the first time they get it in the paint, and it's short from Juric.
But again, it was on the pass. Yeah. So now you lob it up, and now defense converges. Still think you got to put it on the floor a little bit if you're Penn State against that defense in the half court.
Perry rattles out.
You're playing right into UCLA's hands right here. As soon as you come down and you hold that ball, there you go.
Stewart attacks.
Somebody's open.
Pass goes over the head of Tunja. Penn State with the turnover. Their 6th of this first half.
Zone, switching man, whatever Mike Rhodes thinks it is. You have to find the lines, the foul line, the baseline, and you got to do that, I think, with the dribble. Make them now switch. Someone will be open.
Freeney drills the 3, and it's now 10 straight for UCLA.
But when you walk it up, and right now you're playing into UCLA's hands. Pace is where they want it. The ball's really not switching sides of the floor. When you look up and you're under 10 seconds, this is why the percentages are so low the last few possessions for Penn State.
Juric backs into the defender, it's slapped away. Donovan Dent out and running here for the Bruins. Bilodeau has the size. Juric comes over to double. Dent one more to Freeney. Gives it up to Perry. Attacks into the paint. Oh, couldn't get it to go through. Jamerson the offensive rebound and stick back.
He's just doing it with work, movement. Jamerson right now just wants it more when that ball goes up on the rim. I thought Trent Perry could have gone same side and just laid this up, challenged the big, goes for the up and under, and no one's boxing out in a white uniform. And Tunja's there, but again, it's what we talked about earlier. When you play in the Big Ten, even if you're a guard, you have to be more physical. You have to expect to be hit and not be afraid to hit somebody, especially a big, when you see your big goes over to help.
Mick Cronin has been glowing about Jamerson, and a lot of it is because of his work on the glass, which has led to UCLA having 13 second chance points in this first half. He said, really, we put him in the game because I wanted rebounding, I wanted toughness, I wanted physicality at the rim, and he did that, and he called it his best game as a Bruin on Saturday.
It's all, it really is, you know, there's a lot of skill that comes with being a good rebounder, obviously, but when you're, you know, a younger player, or a player who doesn't play a lot, your work rate is what's most important, and that's what the coaches are looking for. You outwork guys, good things are going to happen.
Penn State trying to put an end to this 12-0 run. Again, they have not gotten the ball in the paint. Tunja steps back,
great
works
defense
on Jamerson. Great one-on-one defense. Tunja, one on the shot clock, traveled with it. Wow. UCLA's defense has been suffocating in this first half.
How about Jamerson at both ends of the floor, stayed on his feet, used his arms, stayed big, squared up. Again, it's a tough spot for Penn State because no DeLeon, still waiting to see how he feels, but with no Mingo, you really don't have a guy to set the table and to get guys into their spots. You got guys who can maybe score, but not facilitators.
Yeah, those are your 2 point guards that you're without right now. Freeney in the short corner, gives it right back. 9th UCLA turnover the first half.
One thing I remember when I watched Mick Cronin, and you know, players handle it so well. You have to understand, as much as you think coaches have to understand their players, you have to understand your coach and his passion. My college coach, Jim Calhoun, was kind of the same way. You just knew he was always trying to make you better. You know, it may have been at a higher frequency, I think, than you wanted most times, but you just have to accept and understand that he only wants the best for you and play through it.
Stewart from the corner. No. Rice tried to get the rebound, but Bilodeau's there to corral it. Dent back to Bilodeau, trailing in transition, short. Tunja tracks down the rebound. About 1 second the difference between game clock and shot clock to wind down the first 20 minutes. And a foul off the ball against UCLA.
It's on Jamerson. Just grappling a little bit with Urich.
His second, so Mick Cronin takes him out to avoid a third. Pass deflected, stays here.
One thing Mick Cronin always talks about when you're trying to win, especially when you're trying to beat a Penn State team, is limiting paint points. Well, that's really early where Penn State did most of their damage. They're up 12-10 in terms of paint points. But they need to recognize that, Penn State.
Right.
That's where your bread is buttered, Noah, for Penn State.
Tunja goes with 8 on the shot clock. Dent switches off. He isolates it, gets Dent. Tunja falling away from 15 is fouled by Donovan Dent. 2 free throws coming for Melly Tunja.
It's tough when you're bailed out. Shooting a bad shot. Wow. Said there was the call was some contact on the forearm. I just, like, I know a foul is a foul, but when you force a guy into taking a bad shot and then the ref rewards that bad shot, I don't agree with that.
Tunja's first point of the night after coming off 14 against Purdue. His best game in Big Ten play for the freshman.
And
Mick Cronin's trying to get a little bit of that explanation too. He said we forced a bad shot, great defense. 2 for 2 for Tunja. 1 second. Dent from half court, heaves it up, and just short.
The game anywhere, and they're doing that.
Penn State already without Caden Mingo tonight. You just saw Freddie Dillon there as well, who went down with an apparent ankle injury in the first half. He is back on the bench now, but is not starting this second half for Penn State, who did not score a field goal in the final 6.5 minutes of the first half. UCLA closed the half on a 12-2 run. Open look, Tunja from the corner, splashes in a 3. Good start to the second half.
Yeah, I give them a chance now to set up their defense a little bit. I'd love to see a little bit more communication by Penn State on the defensive end. I think sometimes when you lose track of a guy, you're getting beat on the glass, it's because you're not telling one another, hey, I got yours, you get mine. Just find a blue uniform.
Lob inside to Booker. Double team comes down, kicks it out. Open look for Daly, won't go. Booker the offensive rebound, and he lost it out of bounds.
We've seen that a couple of times in this game by Booker. It's almost like there's peanut butter on the ball. I don't know, some type of butter. Very slick for him right now.
This UCLA defense has caused a lot of problems for Penn State. They have not been able to get many paint touches.
Thinking about my midnight snack after this game.
There you go. What do you got lined up?
A little chocolate. Grab the jar, just dip it in and go. So you fall asleep.
Reed all the way to the cup, floats it in.
Yeah, beautiful. Paint touches, so important.
On the dribble too.
On the dribble, get downhill from the wing. Just try to probe a little bit, but under control.
Quick 5-0 spurt to start the half for Penn State. Dent wraps a pass inside to Bilodeau, who's playing through an illness, but he's giving UCLA a lot tonight.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job when he gets in that interior.
Reed draws a whistle, and Josh Reed heads to the free throw line for Penn State.
Yeah, Tyler Bilodeau does a really nice job when he catches the ball. He doesn't have a two-handed, if you can't grab it and go up, he releases it just to extend a little bit more. Take a look what I'm talking about. He extends that one hand up. Now he takes the left hand off, but it helps him elevate just a little bit higher. And I think he just understands how to control and contort in that painted area because he has the length to finish.
Second year with UCLA, was third team all Big Ten last year in his first year as a Bruin. Has upped that scoring to 17.5 per game, which leads UCLA. Jamerson checks back in for UCLA. He was extremely productive, especially on the offensive glass in the first half.
Finding consistency, at times, it's hard to figure out what it is. As a team, look, UCLA has, what do they have tonight? 10 turnovers. They had 6 in an entire game against Maryland. A guy like Eric Daly Jr. has been playing well. Really hasn't done much of anything in this game. In a game I thought he had the advantage.
Perry has done a lot, though. Drills the 3 here. He's the first to double figures with 11.
Again, when you have injuries, especially to important pieces, it affects everything that you're trying to do. Other players' consistency, your consistency as a coach, and your rotations.
Skip to the corner, and Rice buries it.
That's too much time for him. Love Eli Rice's jump shot. It's just so simple. He makes one, he lets you know about it too.
Hey, we're starting to get some offense finally in this game. Bilodeau slapped away by Reed. Isolates with 10 on the shot clock to the baseline. Trap comes over. Nice flash. Brown bumps. 2 free throws coming for Jamar Brown.
That's the next part of Eli Rice's game where you have to understand, you're making jump shots, you did something great. Now come down defensively, just stand up. Just put your hands straight up, stand your ground. Just a little too much there, hands down, and he's a little off balance. But really nice job by UCLA to stay composed, under control. But Bilodeau has the ball. He's more times than not going to make the right decision.
First point of the night for Jamar Brown. So every time UCLA has caught the ball on the block, Penn State sends that double team, that trap over. If you're UCLA, how do you work out of that?
Well, you have to figure out when they're coming. Are they coming on the pass, or are they coming when you put the ball on the floor? If they're coming on the pass, when that pass is made, you already have to be thinking where the next play is. If they're coming on the dribble, hold it. You know, a lot of teams do it differently, and it depends on where it's coming from. Is it coming from the top or from the opposite block? Look, there's a lot going on in this game, Noah. You got to understand there's a lot of moving parts. It's a difficult game, Noah. Not everyone can figure it out.
Reed lowers his shoulder to the basket, can't scoop it in with the right. Bilodeau comes away with it. Already his 6th rebound for the Bruins tonight.
On the pass.
Bilodeau gets it to Perry. Lobs up top, Jamerson off the window.
He just keeps it simple, Jamerson. He doesn't try to do anything fancy. He didn't try to catch that in the air and go up with it. Caught it, secured it, went up strong.
Reed in transition leans into a mid-range jumper.
That's 16 points in the paint for Penn State of their 37. And you got to know, you're 35, excuse me, you have to know that if you can get up a little bit, just pick that pace up just a tiny bit. The crowd is into it. The students are here. You can hear them. Keep them in this game.
First game back for the students on campus since the break.
Oh. Bilodeau got away with a hold there.
Dent fades away, too strong.
Gotta go.
Like you said, here they go. Reed splits the 2 defenders, and he's hammered by Donovan Dent.
I know I said it's a difficult game. It really isn't. At time, as players, we make it difficult. It's not. We got a good one here, second half. UCLA up 3 at State College.
Saturday.
Any opportunity you can, and the best opportunities come in transition, especially when UCLA's been a little slow retreating defensively.
Third straight game without Caden Mingo, the starting point guard for Penn State, and then Freddie Dilion went down about halfway through the first half with an ankle injury, and we have not seen him back on the floor since. He is on the bench for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, but he's got his shoe off, his toes out, and everything. That's a pretty indication when you see a player's toes out on the bench. That's a pretty good indication that he's might be done for the night.
Yeah. Trying to get it done without the 2 point guards tonight for Penn State. Down just 1 against UCLA. Perry curls off of a screen, elevates, and drills the 3.
That's a play that they ran in the first half. Perry was on the wrong side, but he ended up getting to the correct side and getting fouled. I mean, again, if the play is called, if they call your number, you better know what that play is and get to your spot. Beautifully run play there by UCLA.
Urich throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, he went the wrong way. He was supposed to go to Stewart on the right side. He went back to Rice. This is just a beautifully run play. And you can always tell the guy who it's run for because he's running faster than anyone else out there to get to an open spot.
That's a great play. Third straight game he started in the absence of Sky Clark, and he scored at least 14 in all 3 of those games now. Here's Dent. He's still scoreless.
I want to see him score in that situation. Donovan Dent has to, at some point, as they say, take the bull by the horns. That was a great example. He's one of the best at getting into the paint. Now you get there, you got to pay it off.
Bounces it inside. Jamerson out to Bilodeau for 3. Got it.
How about that? That was almost a turnover. Could have been a travel. Jamerson off balance. Finds Bilodeau, and again, Bilodeau finding his touch in this game.
Inside, Urich with the left goes off the window on a great feed from Stewart.
Love to see Penn State go inside more to Urich. I just don't think that right now UCLA has the strength to deal with him down low. but you got to run some plays for him. Call his number a few times. Just straight post-ups for him inside and see how UCLA plays it.
Mike Rhodes is really high on him as freshman big man. Bilodeau rips through. He's fouled. The jumper +1.
So he's really got it going. UCLA fans love to see it when he has a smile on his face. You talked about it. He's been a little under the weather. The best way to cure any illness, see that ball going through the hoop.
(14-6) tonight. Mick Cronin told us earlier today we're not really sure how much we're going to get out of him because of the illness. He's going to give it a go, but we'll see. Well, what you've gotten out of him tonight, Coach, is a lot.
And he could be feeling a little better. You know, it's been a few days since that last game, and modern medicine, especially when you go to a school like UCLA, has got to be better than most.
Good point. Stewart downhill. Oh, what a tough finish from Dominic Stewart.
So again, it's a rotation. It's a lineup for Penn State that are guys who want to get downhill and they want to score. And Mike Rhodes has put them in those spots this half. We didn't see that at the end of that first half.
Bilodeau, defense collapses down, forces the turnover. Numbers for Penn State. Here comes Blackwood streaking down the lane.
I think that pass was to Tunja, and it actually slipped out of Stewart's hand.
You're right on.
Was right there.
That's what running the floor does for you.
That's it. You got to just get out and run.
Daly. No.
Gotta go.
Penn State will push. Stewart Euros through the lane. He got it and one.
How about turning these, first the turnover, getting hands in the lanes, and boy, when it's going good, it's going good. You throw that up, anybody there can take it, and Stewart, again, this time on the scoring end of it, but you're turning, the problem is you're turning, if you're UCLA, missed shots are turning into basically turnovers because they're long rebounds, and the guys in the white uniforms getting to the ball faster than you.
A 7-0 run in less than a minute for Penn State. Cut what was the largest lead of the game for UCLA at 8 all the way down to 1. Travel.
Yeah.
Turnover number 12 for UCLA, which is already double what they had in the entire game on Saturday against Maryland.
So that's Tunja on, I'm sorry, that's Urich on the defensive end, guarding one-on-one and really causing problems for Bilodeau. I would say now you got to reward them at this end. You know, they're in a little bit of that zone. This is when you want to put the ball on the floor, see how they react.
Chance for Penn State to take the lead.
Someone's got to put that ball and get to the paint.
Tunja tried. Stewart with 3. Step back hand in his face. Oh, yeah!
One of the rare times we've seen that shot clock short and Penn State has made it pay off. UCLA's been putting them in some uncomfortable positions late clock.
Bilodeau with the response and a silencer.
So Penn State has 26 points in this half. They had 23 the entire first half.
In 8.5 minutes.
Boy.
90% from the field this half. UCLA a cold 70% from the field in this half. Bilodeau working on Reed, lowers the shoulder, swiped away by Reed, and it will stay with the Bruins.
I love this. I might have to change that Elam scoring. 60 might not do it. It might be first to 70. All of a sudden, the basket has gotten wider for both teams. Seeing that ball go through. We got a good one, folks. Don't go anywhere. Conference like the Big Ten, it's sometimes harder to make that adjustment, but he's got enough minutes under his belt. He's got to be able to adjust. He's doing a great job tonight.
Dent kicks it out, open look. Freeney short on the three. Jamerson, who else? All over the glass. Bilodeau fades away. Too strong. Freeney, a third opportunity for UCLA.
They are dominating the glass. Probably what's keeping them in this game and up.
Plus 11 rebounding margin after being minus 19 last game. Dent fades away, swirls out. Jamerson again.
Donovan Dent has to know I have the biggest guy in the building on me, or at least on the floor on me. I can't pull up from a long two.
Gotta go with 4. Perry turns the corner, tough fadeaway jumper, he sticks it. How good has he been tonight?
Yeah, he is such a special player. And he has that ability because he's played point guard growing up, that he can handle it and get to his spots, and then the ability to just pull up with that beautiful stroke.
Former Gatorade Player of the Year in California, was the first to commit to UCLA since 17-18. Juric blocked, but a foul on Jamerson, and that sends Ivan Juric to the line.
You know, I just believe that Ivan Juric there needs to be a steady diet of him touching the ball. Now, if he does touch it, he's going to have to understand that double may start to come. They may start to show some help, and he has to be a better decision maker out of that. But when you lead him with plays like that, you know, something good's going to happen. He's going to finish, he's going to get fouled, and get there and knock down his free throws.
Mike Rhodes said when he was constructing this roster last year at this time, the plan was not for Juric to come in and be the starter right away. He said most freshman big men are backups. We're making him play 30 minutes a night, really throwing him into the fire, and he's responded well.
Yeah. He does play with a veteran presence. And he's a big boy. I mean, he is, I know he's built, but he's 7 feet, 250.
Perry off the mark. Rebound was slapped out of the hand of Stewart, and a foul against UCLA.
I love that. One of my favorite things in basketball, especially in the half court, is when guards come back and rebound. I mean, you can make so much money. You can make so much money later in your career as a guard if you can be a big-time rebounder. You know, all you gotta just pluck out. You can pluck out 4 or 5 a game. Yeah. Boy, oh boy.
Tunja thought about the 3. Rice takes it off the mark. Bilodeau's there for the rebound, his 7th tonight.
Say, if I'm Donovan Dent's teammates, I'm saying, Donnie boy, Donnie baby, when you get that ball up top and we're flat, you have to go, and don't be a scorer. I think this is the time where his coach is giving him everything. Mick Cronin stays after practice working on that jump shot. But where you get the psychological strength from is your teammates.
Perry buries it. New career high for Trent Perry.
And he is playing with intentionality, knowing when he catches that thing, it's going up. He's making just concise decisions.
Tunja driving baseline, swings it out to the corner. Shot clock dips down to 6. Stewart falling away from the mid-range, swirls out.
Thought he should have gone all the way. Got Jamerson on you. Make him slide a little bit. See if you can get past him. Stewart right now needs a breather.
Bilodeau on the pick and pop. Got the bounce. You're only supposed to get that at home.
Soft rims in here in the Bryce Jordan.
A run for UCLA. Bilodeau buries the 3, and the Bruins up 8 on the road late in Happy Valley.
That is on a little bit of a heater. I think you gotta do something to stop him, and Penn State just hasn't done it. I would attribute that to his movement. Moving well without the basketball. And he just has a great feel for the game. You can see it.
Has stepped into a starting role the last 3 games because Sky Clark being out. And in those 3 games, Perry has gone 16 points, 15 points, and now 19 points.
And he's getting better. You can see him getting better every single game.
Listen, you want Sky Clark back as soon as you can get him back, but what you've gotten from Perry has been great.
But can you imagine, though, to have Sky Clark back, to have Perry playing the way he is, and then get Donovan Dent to kind of get out of his own head a little bit? Boy, the sky's the limit for this UCLA team.
2 points for Rice on the goaltending. Final 7:26 here on FS1 coming up next.
So, you know, if you're Mick Cronin, maybe this is now a time where you say, guys, this is what our identity is. It's to now,
offensive foul off the ball against Jamerson.
And it was right when Donovan Dent got downhill. And I love that because he understands Mick Cronin better than anyone. You're going to, at some point, need Donovan Dent to be the dude.
Yeah.
He's going to have to. So you come out of that timeout, you run a play for him, turnover. He got where he wanted to get to, but as I was saying before that turnover interrupted me, UCLA should be saying this is our identity now. We have 7 minutes to play. Let's defend. This is what wins games. We're up 6. We have to get stops.
That was the 4th foul on Jamerson, by the way, so he takes a seat with about 7 to go. It's been great off the bench tonight for the Bruins.
Got to get Urish down low.
He's posting up the much smaller Freeney. Blackwood couldn't work it in. He's got to shoot it with 2. Got to get it up. They can't. Shot clock violation. You said it. That's what the identity of UCLA is. It's that end of the floor, and they get a big stop.
And they're giving up so much size inside, and they still find a way to double the ball. Again, late clock means low percentage shots, and UCLA has done that in spurts tonight against Penn State, forcing those situations. That wasn't even a low percentage shot. That was just a turnover, and not the worst thing for Penn State. Use all the clock, dead ball turnover, you get a chance to get a stop here.
Dent gets into the lane. Perry works inside to Bilodeau, who's fouled by Josh Reed. So not bonus yet, but the shot clock was all the way down to 3, and now Penn State's going to have to defend with 20 on the shot clock. Dent carves his way into the paint, scoops it high off the window, too strong. Williams the offensive rebound. Perry's had the hot hand tonight, and he draws a whistle.
He's just moving with intention. You know, he's decisive, Perry. Right now he's just playing with a different confidence. You know, you kind of want him to give a little bit of that to Donovan Dent. You know, as you watch him, look, we're unbiased. We want to see a good game. We don't have any 1 or 2 players that were like, you really, but you almost feel for Donovan Dent because you know he's a terrific player. He's a shell of himself right now, and Mick Cronin is staying with him because he believes in him. And like I said earlier, when I would dip as a player, you know, my physical skills were helped by the coaches and staying in, getting reps. But psychologically, my strength came from my teammates, you know, Ray Allen and Danielle Marshall and Kevin Ollie. Those guys, you know, when I was in the NBA, Jason Kidd, those guys would give me confidence psychologically. And I think that's what Donovan Dent needs right now from his teammates to say, look, man, you're a bad boy. We believe in you. Go out there and get it.
So that brings up a good point. I'm curious, how do you get your mind to a point of this is what it was like when I was playing really well?
Yeah, don't be afraid of the things that you can't control. Sometimes as players, you're like, oh, if I miss, if I turn it over, you can't think that way. You know, you only have to think about that light at the end of the tunnel, how great things are going to be when things start to turn around.
Tunja too strong on the 3. Penn State, the rare offensive rebound. Stewart catch and shoot. Short, and Bilodeau with a season-tying high of 9 rebounds.
A little mini coming out party for Tyler Bilodeau, at least over the last 3 or 4 games or so. 3 games. He had a really good game. Who was that against Irvine? Was that Riverside? Riverside, yeah, UC Riverside.
5 to shoot. Dent, double, kicks. Williams, one more to the corner to an open Perry, and he connects. That is one bad dude tonight.
I will say, a heads-up play by Dent to see, and he's not feeling it, to swing that ball in the extra pass. Find the right guy.
24 tonight for Perry has just shattered his previous career high of 17. Blackwood in and out. Juric the offensive rebound. Stewart got the defender to fly by. Swings it. One more. Tunja, no. Couple great looks, but empty-handed for the Nittany Lions.
The Nittany Lions just struggling from downtown. 4 of 19 from 3, and a lot of those were open, Noah. Gotta be able to knock down open shots in this conference. You're not going to get a lot of them.
No. Really young team. Penn State with 8 freshmen on the roster, only 1 senior. They've begun Big Ten play 0-5, but those 5 opponents are a combined 20-5 in Big Ten play right now. You get the feeling, and I know things aren't going their way right now, but you get the feeling for Mike Rhodes' team that they are on the cusp. They have shown some really good flashes.
I agree. They have terrific players, but similar to what Mick Cronin has been talking about, you know, they're young, Penn State, not UCLA, but Penn State, but they also are injured.
Yeah.
So now you're just fighting this uphill battle if you're Mike Rhodes of, man, I want to get our guys. You can't practice. You know, the right guys can't play with the right guys. The rotations are a little wonky because of the injuries.
UCLA's largest lead of the night. It's 11. We've just hit the 4-minute mark. Dent steps back, fades away. Too strong. Still scoreless tonight is Donovan Dent. 3:54 to play on the other side. UCLA has started to pull away late in the second half, up 12 or up 11 on the road.
Every one you steal off the backboards, it just now, not only do you get more possessions, but you also have an opportunity to control the game. And Mick Cronin keeps telling his guys that. Some guys have responded to that. Jamerson's done a really nice job. He's got 6 rebounds, another terrific game, 7 points in 21 minutes as well. And listen, they're winning the battle of the boards. They're plus 15, and it's not an easy thing to do on the road.
One game after going minus 19 on the glass against Maryland.
And giving up 20 offensive rebounds.
Yeah. Rice on a catch and shoot from the corner. No. Juric the offensive rebound and the putback.
Boy. Now Juric only has 9 points tonight, but he's only taken 6 shots. Got 6 rebounds. He should have more touches, and I think as the season progresses and they play against bigger, stronger teams, I just can't see him not getting multiple touches.
Perry with the left. Contact from Juric and a whistle that sends Trent Perry to the free throw line.
I mean, Juric almost fouls Perry with his hip. I think if you go in straight up facing, maybe they let that call go, but anytime you turn sideways and give him a little hip check. But Perry again continuing to force the issue and be the aggressor.
They might have a star on the rise in Trent Perry the way he's playing the last 3 games.
Now it's not all doom and gloom when you have injuries, especially, I know it's a great player that you're dealing with who's not playing in Sky Clark, but you find things that you don't expect at the beginning of the season from those tough situations, and they found that Trent Perry, boy, he belongs. more than belongs.
You said it earlier, too. You get Sky Clark back at some point, and then if you get Trent Perry continuing to play with this confidence.
If you get Donovan Dent, and you will, to be half of what he was last year, I mean, not a big team, but still, they have athletes and guys who defend. I wouldn't count UCLA out for a second.
Bonus free throws coming for Josh Reed, the lone senior on this team for Penn State. 3 years at Cincinnati. Now his final year of college basketball with Penn State, and having by far a career year. Averaged less than 3 points a game at Cincinnati, up near 9 this year. For a kid who already has his bachelor's degree, and by the time this school year winds down, he'll have his master's as well in only 4 years.
I mean, the thing that stinks about graduating now, I'll tell you, I was ready to graduate. I'm sure Jim Calhoun was ready for me to graduate too. But the thing is, you think about it now with NIL, you're like, I don't want to leave.
No.
We're like scratching and clawing to stay in school.
Dent easily breaks the press with the dribble. Dent gives it up. Perry elevates for 3, in and out. Juric gets to the other side, can't get the reverse to fall, and Jamerson snatches his 7th rebound.
Good job by Bilodeau to speed him up just a little bit. Had to throw it up higher because you know Bilodeau has that length once you get inside the paint.
Dent accelerates into the lane. It was blocked. Stewart now pushing. Under 2 to go. Penn State down 11. Stewart, offensive foul. It's a moving screen on Juric.
I would love for Juric to catch that on the first catch and go to work. Little drag dribble. Right there, go to work. He's not even looking at the basket. You catch that with 2 feet in the paint, there's no way at his skill level he should be looking anywhere but the rim right there.
Penn State in danger of beginning Big Ten play 0-6. Several close losses against some of the best teams in the country. Took a second half lead, but UCLA has since pulled away. Bilodeau. Short, and rebound Stewart. Rice gets downhill, splits 2 defenders, and a chance to score with the clock stopped for Eli Rice.
I love that they continue to play, though. You know, it's so hard for a young guy to look up there and see you don't have much time left on that clock, and you still try to get yourself to the foul line, continue to play till the end.
Eli Rice really playing his first extended playing time of his career. Got injured halfway through his true freshman season at Nebraska. Only played 1 game last year for Penn State. He's been healthy so far all season long, and it's been reflected in his numbers.
Now, when you say young, obviously in years these guys have been in school and extra, and so they're gaining some experience and exposure to the travel and what life is, you know, in college. But in terms of minutes, just the youth that they have here, Mike Rhodes has here in terms of their experience on the floor.
Perry with 2 more to add to his career high, now 28. Chance for Stewart at the free throw line. You know, I understand what the record is for Penn State. You're going to see 0-5 and about to be 0-6 in Big Ten play. But this is a win for UCLA to come on the road across the country at a place that Penn State is usually pretty good at home. This is a big win for them.
Yeah, it really is. It's a different kind of game than Maryland as well.
Yeah.
I think Mick Cronin is just one of those guys that's never probably going to be, even if he won a national title, he's probably not going to say, yeah, I'm finally happy, I'm good, which is what you love about him, because he's going to continue to make his players better. You know, he's going to continue to push to be the greatest, but even he has to probably look at this game and say, all right, we did some things really, really well and that we can build on. And look, it's no small feat going all the way across the country. It's always something that the coaches are going to talk about, complain about, especially when you go from the West Coast out east.
Foul called on Stewart. UCLA had a chance to add to a 9-point lead.
I mean, you think about this team, and I know Trent Perry, career high, but Donovan Dent, 0 for 6, 0 points. Brown, 2 points. Bilodeau obviously had a great game. Booker, 0 points. Daly Jr., 2 points. So finding consistency, yes, they're going to find it, but to be able to come on the road and win when so many guys didn't have the games that they've been having says a lot about how your team is built. And Mick trusting guys, you know, getting them out there and trusting them to go and play the right way with extended minutes. Jamerson is one of those guys you have to talk about. 8 points, another great game for him. Hasn't missed a field goal, 3 for 3, made both his free throws, four fouls. He's aggressive, I don't mind that, but 7 rebounds.
Short from Rice. Juric the offensive rebounds. Rice lowers the shoulder, can't bank it in. Jamerson's 8th rebound tonight. 8 points, 8 boards off the bench for Jamerson. UCLA about to make it wins in 5 of their last 7, move to 4-2 in the Big Ten.
Mick's drawing up a play as they're
coaching to the very end. UCLA will take the shot clock violation here. Penn State has to inbound it with 2 to go. But an 11-point win for UCLA on the road, pulling away late in the second half, and Mick Cronin's team moves to 12-5.